basically, what is the kind of music exposure that you have been having in your own backgrounds? Have you people had, some of you have had some formal training somewhere, or somebody is right now learning music somewhere, or you have done music in your schools, or you have done it from your home, if there is not into music, like that. Has there been any kind of music exposure in your lives before? That's one thing that we know that. And the next question is it majorly Western or Indian or what? Both. That's very good. That's very good. Okay. So let me start asking a question basically. What is it that you think if somebody listens to a Hindustani music program, let's say, what is it that you first listen? What is it that start? Can someone tell me? The music concert. What is the music concert? Especially in Indian classical music scenario. What does it begin with? Okay, tantra. So what do you call tantra? The tantra, of course, tantra is tantra, but what is the function that the tantra is providing? Yeah, that's the right thing. It sets a drone. The drone is the most essential thing in our music. If you listen to any musical recording of today, yesterday, day before me, you'll find all recordings starting with the drone and sticking to the drone till the end. One of the most important features of Indian classical music, which separates it from so many other musical forms, where you have something like bass guitar in Western music. And a bass guitar, interestingly, it will be varying from song to song. You might have a song in A, you might have a song in B, G, F, depending on the scale. So that alterability is not there in Indian classical music. If you start a concert usually in a particular place, in Indian classical concert specifically, it will always stick to the same track. First thing. And second thing, do you know what a musical note is called basically in Indian classical music? A musical note is basically swara. Called swara. And there's a lot of technical definitions which says a swara is but nothing else but a harmonious confluence of so many other notes existing parallelly with each other. That's a very technical definition. But another interesting definition which I like is a swara is a musical note which will sound pleasing to the ear. That's one thing which nowadays we are finding lots of new musical styles coming up, where they come up with this interesting concept of using sounds in lots of new musical groups, and Western music, they are using these musical sounds which are becoming an integral part of the overall music now. Previously, the definition of sound being different from music was a very clear definition. Today we listen to lots of music, progressive jazz, where lots of interesting sounds are incorporated. Okay, and simple basic facts of Indian classical music, that an Indian classical music will, let us say, like how we have a constant drone. If you take upon a constant melody, let us say a rag in the system. Rag is basically a melodic C, which is a fixed melody, which with certain fixed motions and certain fixed style, sticking to the melody till the end of the improvisation. So if you start a particular improvisation in say a rag Yaman or Gopali or whatever, you start the melody with Gopali and you end till the end, you have to maintain the Gopali. The maintaining of the Gopali first, there will be very, very slow patterns of notes which are called as alam, which are not necessarily in rhythm. There's no rhythmic content to it. And then later on there is the beginning of the rhythm. More so if you can clearly notice in the instrumental music how the rhythm begins. And then with the rhythm this musicians are playing certain elements. And then afterwards, towards the ending, it starts taking faster and faster tempo. and it goes really fast and ends. The difference in the vocal and instrumental is when the tabla, the accompaniment begins in an instrumental section, you will find that the movement and the playing of the instrumentalist also starts being more rhythmic in nature compared to the first section of the last. But in case of vocal music, you observe that even when the rhythm has started, the motion and the singing style of the vocal still stays in our. But there is this long phrases of singing which go on and on and on to this very strange beat on the tabla which you might not understand what's going on. You might have attended so many concerts and never really understood what they are playing. This long cycle is the same small beats of, let us say, 4-beat cycle or 8-beat cycle or a 12-beat cycle, which have been stretched so much long that unless and until properly and scientifically trained, you will not know what's going on. And that also probably leads to the fact that we find lots of this classical concepts boring. And with my own personal experience being a classical musician, I have always felt as a kid that Michael Jackson was more interesting than being a musician. So it's not a wrong thing, because I think it is a very slow process of trying to understand and acquire the knowledge, because I don't think we have been exposing children right from the very basic level of education in music for them to slowly start and understand. Because even classical music, in my opinion, is a quite abstract art, because you cannot explain exactly what you're doing. Not that there is nothing there. This is an interesting mix of music. And about the rhythmic cycle, the small basic things I'm just going to tell you. If you can join me, I'll tell very simple things like Pita and Seta, which are commonly used in Indian classical concerts. You might pick up any CD and see somebody singing something for 10 minutes, set to Pita or set to Chata and stuff like that. So the tal factor is one thing which, if you understand a little, you will have some interesting thing to do. Let us just first start clapping together. Good. Now, a very simple thing. Let's try and distinguish the first clap which you clap, in whichever rhythmic cycle you are following in your mind, to be distinctly different from the rest of the class. Let's see how we will. Let us take a small group of, let us say, 4 people. 4 each. You just show me, let us say, a cycle beat of 4 beats. The first should be distinctly different from the rest. Let's take 4 people. Let's start from here. Very good. This is 4 beats. Continue the same in 8. Okay. Now, some other groups, somebody more interested to show that to me. Cycle of 4s or 8s. You could just within yourself make a small team and show it. 4 people. 4, yeah, please. Cycle of 8, yes. Other groups?